Hey guys, we're still out in the hayfield this afternoon, getting the 560R baler going on this 6155R. Having to do a few software updates to get the automation to work right. Hay's drying down pretty quick, so this evening we ought to be able to roll pretty good and get this baler in the field, and we'll show you how all the automation works on this baler. One of the customers' requests was that we set this baler up so that the pickup on the baler, the pickup attachment, is running on #1 selective control valve remote on the tractor, and the tailgate is running on #2. So right now we have the tailgate on #1 and the pickup on #2. So we're going to go through that process real quick before the customer gets out to the field tonight and start baling hay. And I'm going to show you real quick on the display here. So we're on our main screen here. We're gonna scroll over and find our baler page there. Okay, there's our baler page. So we're gonna go up and find our gear and wrench tab. Okay, we're gonna get on the gear and wrench tab. We're gonna find our automation settings. So we're gonna go under automation settings, and as you can see there, it's showing that the tailgate is gonna be controlled by #1. So we want to change that to #2. So we'll just click on that, pick #2. Okay, so now our tailgate should be controlled by #2 selective control valve. And by the way, we've already swapped our hoses at the back of the tractor, and so now we've got that set. So we can go back to our main baler screen there, and I'm pretty sure that if we go over here and look at our remotes now on our tractor page, it doesn't show auto there on #2. Okay, I don't think that'll show up yet until we cycle the power on the tractor. And so we'll turn the key off, cycle the power, get that set up right, and be ready to bale some alfalfa here in just a little bit when the customer shows up. And so stay tuned, and we'll show you how this automation works. So I'm back at the house now. It's a little after 1 a.m. And man, what a night in the hayfield so far. We haven't been able to bale any hay because the wind's blowing and the windrows are not dry. They're not getting good enough to bale. Hay's just not coming into case yet. You gotta love being a baler technician. At least my dogs are. Sissy's glad that I came home. But I'm gonna try to take a nap here for about an hour, and then we'll go back out and see if we can bale some hay. Good morning, guys. Okay, so we're still out in the hayfield. We've kind of been out here off and on all night. The hay never really got right until early this morning, about 6 o'clock. And so we're gonna fire up this 560M here and go wrap a few bales up and run it in automation. I got 2 L341s and the stackers. They're already rolling out in the field now. And we'll get over there and see how they're doing here in a few minutes. Pretty nice looking stacks of hay there, just so you can sort of see kind of what the stacker does out here in the field. Give you some shots of the stackers there. Running this 560R in full automation, baling about 7 miles an hour. We've got about a 50-inch bale in the baler right now and building. We're gonna wrap one here at about 70 inches. And kind of give you an idea of how the automation works. We had a little bit of trouble, had to update software on the tractor, get an activation installed on the tractor for the automation, make some adjustments to the baler. Okay, and so we're just kind of making some test run this morning to make sure that everything works. Okay, so we're getting closer to our 70 inches, and so it should stop the tractor automatically, and then wrap the bale, eject the bale, and then start the tractor in motion again. Okay, so tractor stopped. All the customer has to do is hold his foot on the brake. So now it's wrapping the bale, applying wrap to the bale. Okay, now it's ejecting the bale. Okay, now it's telling us to allow the tractor to move forward again. So we're back to baling. Pretty quick response on the automation, and so it kind of takes a lot of things out of the customer's hands. and kind of makes it a little more hands-free, and all you do is basically drive the tractor down your windrows of hay. Okay, so we're going to get out of the tractor here just in a few minutes and kind of look at our bales and see what our bale shape looks like, and see how many rounds of net, how many wraps we're applying to the bale. And we'll kind of look the baler over, since we've only ran about 10 bales through this baler. We probably need to stop and take a look at that. We've baled up probably, let's check and see here. Looks like we've baled up 20 bales. Okay, so we're gonna get out and check the baler over, look at our bales real quick, see if we're applying 2.5 wraps like we have it set at in the monitor, the display, and look over the baler. I seen that we had a belt. I don't know if you can see it from here, but I'll show you a little closer. We've got a belt that got flipped over there, and sometimes that's something to really pay attention to out in the field whenever it's really windy, and we got a lot of crosswind out here today, so looks like a wind caught our belt when it kicked the bale out and flipped it over. So we need to fix that, because that could be a big problem. Like if we left that the way it is and then we kept on baling and didn't really see that or pay attention to that, then we would probably destroy that belt and then have to replace the belt. So I'll show you that in a minute. Take a look at our bale first of all, and as you can see there, it looks like we're applying a good 2.5 wraps on the bale. Okay, so looks like the baler's doing a good job making a nice bale there. This bale's not quite 70 inches because I went ahead and wrapped it when we ran out of windrow there when we were baling. Wrapped it just a little early. Take a look at this belt real quick. So if you can see, the wind had caught that belt and twisted it, flipped it over. Okay, so we left that the way that it is, that could cause a big problem down the road. So we really need to get that flipped back over and fixed back like it's supposed to. And looks like I'm gonna have to lock the tailgate and get up inside of the baler to fix that. Okay, so something to be mindful of when you're out in the wind is keep an eye on those belts, because when the tailgate opens and ejects a bale, it can put a twist in a bale or in a belt and cause some problems there. Quick reminder real quick, if you're ever going to enter into the inside of the bale chamber on one of these round balers, keep in mind to lock this brake. Real important to lock that brake before entering into this bale chamber with this tailgate in the air. Okay, and a lot of times it's even a better idea just to go ahead and shut the tractor off. We got the belt corrected in the 560R, the belt that was twisted, crawled up in there and got that straightened out. We looked at our bales. We're applying 2.5 rounds of wrap, just like we've got it set in the display. Looked the baler over pretty good. We had a little bit of issues right off of the start with the automation, and we corrected that with some new software on the tractor, and then also an activation code for the automation. And it's getting windy and dry out here in southwest Oklahoma pretty quick this morning, so we're probably gonna have to shut down our baling and start again tonight perhaps. And appreciate you guys watching. Hope that you enjoyed being out in the field, in the hayfield. And Larry the tractor guy signing out.